Unveiling the Eternal Legacy, the tomb of Queen Meresankh III beneath the Great Pyramid. Hook. Picture this. You're standing at the base of the colossal Great Pyramid of Giza, the sun beating down on the golden sands, when suddenly a hidden doorway beckons you underground. Inside, walls explode with colors that have defied time for over 4,500 years. Stories of a powerful queen etched in stone, more vivid than any Hollywood movie. This isn't fiction. It's the tomb of Queen Meresankh III, one of ancient Egypt's most elaborately decorated and best preserved wonders. If you've ever wondered what life was really like for the royals who built the pyramids, buckle up. This journey will transport you back to a world of pharaohs, gods, and eternal mysteries. Ready to explore a tomb that outshines many kings' burials? Let's dive in. To truly appreciate this hidden gem, we need to set the stage with the grandeur of ancient Egypt's Old Kingdom. This era, spanning roughly 2686 to 2181 BCE, was a golden age of pyramid building and centralized power. Pharaohs like Khufu, also known as Cheops, commanded armies of workers to erect monuments that still baffle engineers today. The Great Pyramid, Khufu's masterpiece, towers at 481 feet and was the tallest man-made structure for over 3,800 years. But beneath its shadow lies a network of tombs for the elite. Not just kings, but queens, princes, and high officials. Among them, the tomb of Queen Meresankh III stands out as a masterpiece of preservation and artistry. Who was Meresankh III? Born around 2550 BCE, she was no mere footnote in history. As the granddaughter of Khufu and daughter of Prince Kawab and Queen Hetepheres II, Meresankh was woven into the fabric of Egypt's royal dynasty. She married her uncle, Pharaoh Khafre, Khufu's son and successor, who built the second largest pyramid at Giza and is famously associated with the Sphinx. Together, they had several children, including future Pharaoh Menkaure. Her name, Meresankh, translates to "she loves life," a fitting moniker for a woman whose tomb radiates vitality. Historical records, pieced together from inscriptions and artifacts, suggest she lived to about 50 years old, a respectable age in an era where life expectancy hovered around 30 to 40 for most. But her death around 2490 BCE marked the beginning of her eternal legacy. The discovery of her tomb is a story straight out of an adventure novel. In April 1927, American archaeologist George Andrew Reisner, leading a Harvard University Boston Museum of Fine Arts expedition, was excavating the Eastern Cemetery at Giza. This area, dotted with mastabas, flat-roofed tombs, and rock-cut chambers, was reserved for royalty and nobles. While clearing debris near mastaba G 7530 to 7540, Reisner's team stumbled upon a sealed shaft leading downward. Breaking through, they entered a subterranean world untouched for millennia. The air was dry and still, preserving everything in remarkable condition. Reisner described it as one of the most beautiful tombs ever found. And he wasn't exaggerating. Unlike the Valley of the King's tombs, which were often ransacked by ancient thieves, Meresankh's was largely intact, a rare archaeological jackpot. Let's take a virtual tour of the tomb's layout, as if we're descending the steps ourselves. The entrance is a narrow staircase carved into the limestone bedrock, leading about 20 feet underground. This rock-cut design was common for Old Kingdom elites, offering protection from floods and robbers compared to above-ground mastabas. At the bottom, you enter the main chapel, a rectangular room about 20 by 10 feet, serving as the public space for offerings and rituals. Here, the magic begins. Every wall is adorned with bas-relief carvings and paintings, executed with a level of detail that showcases the pinnacle of Old Kingdom artistry.
The artwork is breathtaking. On the north wall, Meresankh is depicted in a marsh scene, standing in a papyrus boat as she spears fish and birds, a common motif symbolizing abundance and the cycle of life. Her figure is elegant, with a long wig, broad collar necklace, and a sheer linen dress that clings to her form. Colors pop. Reds from iron oxide, blues from lapis lazuli, imported from Afghanistan, yellows from orpiment, and blacks from charcoal. These pigments, mixed with egg or gum binders, have survived thanks to the tomb's stable environment, low humidity, and no direct sunlight. Nearby, scenes show her family. Her mother, Hatefres II, with distinctive blonde hair, possibly a wig or symbolic, and her children engaged in daily activities. One touching relief portrays Meresankh offering incense to the gods, her face serene and composed. Moving deeper, side chambers branch off. One serves as a serdab, statue room, housing life-sized limestone statues of Meresankh and her relatives. The most famous is a pair statue of Meresankh and Hatefres II, now in the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. Carved from a single block, it shows the two women arm in arm, their expressions warm and affectionate, a rarity in Egyptian art, which often emphasized formality over emotion. Hatefres, as a queen mother, wears a vulture headdress, symbolizing protection, while Meresankh's pose exudes confidence. These statues weren't just decorations, they were Ka statues, meant to house the soul, Ka, if the mummy was destroyed. Archaeologists found them in near-perfect condition, with traces of original paint still visible. The burial chamber itself is the heart of the tomb, a smaller, more intimate space where Meresankh's sarcophagus once rested. This massive red granite coffin, weighing several tons, was found empty, likely because the body was moved or robbed in antiquity. But the walls compensate with inscriptions from the pyramid texts, some of the oldest religious writings in the world. These spells, carved in hieroglyphics, invoke gods like Osiris, lord of the afterlife, and Nut, sky goddess, to ensure safe passage to the Duat, or underworld. One text reads something like, "O Meresankh, rise up and join the stars. Your Ka shall not perish." These aren't just words. They're magical formulas believed to grant immortality. Compared to later texts, like the Book of the Dead, the pyramid texts are more elite and pyramid-focused, reflecting the Old Kingdom solar theology, where the pharaoh ascended to the heavens. What does all this tell us about ancient Egyptian society? The tomb is a snapshot of a highly stratified world. At the top were pharaohs, seen as living gods, supported by a bureaucracy of scribes, priests, and artisans. Meresankh's depictions revealed gender roles. Women of high status could own property, divorce, and hold titles like Priestess of Hathor. Her tomb emphasizes matrilineal ties, unusual in a patriarchal society, highlighting how queens influenced succession and politics. Daily life scenes show a thriving economy. The Nile's annual floods enabled agriculture, with workers harvesting wheat, barley, and flax. Artisans in the reliefs craft jewelry from gold and faience, while fishermen net tilapia, all offered to sustain Meresankh in the afterlife. Comparatively, Meresankh's tomb outshines many contemporaries. Take the tomb of Tai at Saqqara. It's detailed, but lacks the personal family focus. Or Queen Nefertari's in the Valley of the Queens. Lavish, but from a later dynasty with different styles. Meresankh's is unique for its Old Kingdom realism. Figures are proportionate, with individualized features, unlike the stylized art of the New Kingdom. Preservation-wise, it's superior to Tutankhamun's, which suffered from dampness despite its gold. Why? Giza's desert location and underground design created a natural vault.
The tomb's story doesn't end in antiquity. After discovery, Reisner's team meticulously documented it with photos, drawings, and plaster casts. Artifacts like the statues were shipped to Boston, sparking debates on cultural repatriation. Egypt has since reclaimed many items. In the 20th century, the tomb influenced popular culture. Think Indiana Jones raiding similar sites, or video games like Assassin's Creed Origins recreating Giza. Modern science has enhanced our understanding too. In the 2010s, 3D laser scanning by groups like the Giza Project, Harvard, created digital models, allowing virtual tours via apps and VR. This tech reveals hidden details, like tool marks from copper chisels used by ancient masons. But challenges persist. Tomb robbing was rampant even in Meresankh's time. Pharaohs employed guards and curses like, "Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace." Today, threats include tourism where thousands visit Giza annually, pollution, and climate change raising groundwater levels. Conservation efforts by UNESCO and Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities involve sealing entrances, installing climate controls, and using non-invasive imaging. Recent studies using ground-penetrating radar have even hinted at undiscovered chambers nearby, fueling speculation about more secrets under the pyramids. Expanding on the cultural impact, Meresankh's tomb sheds light on Egyptian religion. The afterlife was central. The Ba, soul, flew as a bird. The Ka needed sustenance, and the Ak, transfigured spirit, joined the gods. Offerings in the chapel, bread, beer, oxen, were symbolic, but priests performed rituals to feed the dead. This belief system influenced later civilizations, from Greek myths to Christian resurrection ideas. In art history, the tomb exemplifies the canon of proportions, a grid system ensuring balanced figures, which persisted for millennia. Let's delve into the archaeological methods that uncovered it. Reisner used stratigraphic excavation, layer by layer, to date artifacts. Carbon-14 dating on organic remains, like wood fragments, confirmed the timeline. Pigment analysis via spectroscopy reveals trade networks, lapis from Asia, gold from Nubia. These findings paint Egypt as a global hub, not an isolated desert kingdom. For a broader perspective, compare to other queens' tombs. Hetepheres I, Meresankh's grandmother, had a shaft tomb with silver anklets and a canopy bed, luxurious but less decorated. In contrast, Meresankh's emphasizes narrative art, perhaps reflecting her personality. Theories suggest she was a patron of artists, commissioning works that blended realism with symbolism. In modern times, the tomb inspires education and tourism. Schools use it to teach about gender in history, challenging stereotypes of passive ancient women. Ecotourism initiatives promote sustainable visits, like guided night tours under the stars. Pop culture ties include Roblox experiences simulating tomb exploration. Imagine avatars deciphering hieroglyphs in a blocky Giza. As we wrap up this deep dive, consider the tomb's role in ongoing research. DNA studies on mummies, though the Meresankh's is missing, reveal royal intermarriages, explaining genetic issues like Tut's ailments. Future digs might use AI to predict hidden sites, revolutionizing archaeology. Conclusion: the tomb of Queen Meresankh III is more than a burial site. It's a vibrant portal to ancient Egypt's soul, where a queen's love for life echoes through eternity. From its preserved masterpieces to the stories of family and faith, it reminds us that history isn't dusty relics, it's living inspiration. As we face our own modern challenges, let's draw from Meresankh's resilience. What secrets might you uncover in your world? Explore, question, and preserve the past, for in doing so, we honor those who came before. Thank you for joining this epic journey. The wonders of history await your next step.